Hey guys, I have this small, tiny testimony to tell you. How do I put it so that I don't reveal anything, about a certain situation? Because guys, sometimes you can tell about a story, but you have to be very careful about the kind of information that you give out, because if there are other people involved, you don't want to reveal who they are. I never reveal people. I just talk about situations to teach a lesson, right? So, by the way, it's May 23, 2020, and it is 5 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And anyway, so how do I start? It has to do with something nice that happened to somebody. Something nice that happened. Okay, so how do I start it? I get confused sometimes. Okay, I have a neighbor, right? I have this one neighbor. And this neighbor is really, really sweet. But something happened where they got mad at me. And I didn't mean to get them mad at me. I didn't realize that they had become so mad at me because they began to ignore me, and they were really mean. They just became very hostile, really, really mean. And it didn't make any sense. So, yeah. So anyway, every time I would see them, they were just really mean and hostile, and they wouldn't talk to me or anything, but they would just, their body language was very hostile, and their facial expression was kind of hateful, you know. But of course, I don't hold that against them. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me, you know, when somebody does that, because I've learned to not allow things like that to get to me. So it doesn't bother me, right? It doesn't. I still, to me, I accept them as if though they're not mad at me. So that's how I deal with those kinds of situations. So I love you too, Father God. I just heard him say I love you. So this neighbor was, you know, one day really nice, and then all of a sudden, like, this neighbor had always been really nice to me, and then all of a sudden they started being mean because they got mad at me, right? So you know, when did this happen? Sometime last year, when they got mad at me all of a sudden, just maybe around 8 months ago. And then fast track to around 3 months ago. Yes, around 3 months ago, another neighbor gave me, like, this neighbor called me over to their place, and they told me, they said, Nancy, I have 2 computers, and the thing is, I only need one. And I have another one, and, you know, I only need one. So, would you like this computer? And I said, well, I have a computer, but I'll take it. You know, so I took the computer, and I brought it back to my place. So it's been sitting here for the past 3 months. And I was just wondering, what am I going to do with this computer? I don't know, because I already have a computer. Plus, I was just given another computer, a brand new computer, for my birthday. It was an early birthday present. So now I have 3 computers. I have my computer, which is still in excellent condition, and it's 5 years old, but it's still in really, really, really good condition. And so then I was just given another computer for my birthday last week. So now I have 3 computers. So then the computer that my neighbor gave me, the entire time I was wondering, what am I going to do with it? I don't know what I was going to do with it. I didn't even want to turn it on because I didn't have any use for another computer. I said, well, I'll just leave it there. You know, I'll just leave it there for, who knows, I might need it at some point. But anyway, it was just there. It was here, right? So then, last week, the thought came to my mind about how I could give the computer, the one that my neighbor gave me, to the other neighbor that's mad at me, because this neighbor doesn't have a computer. and they've been wanting a computer for the longest time, right? And also, this neighbor has, I have pictures of this neighbor from when I first moved here back in 2017, when this neighbor and I were just chatting. We would chat a lot, right? And I took pictures of them, and I also have video footage of them, and I've been wanting to give them the pictures and the video footage, but because they didn't have a computer, there was no way for me to do that. You know, and I am not friends with her friends well enough. Like, I don't know them. I don't know anybody that she knows. Like, I don't know any of her friends, so I wouldn't feel comfortable giving my email address to her friends or his friends in order for me to, you know, for this neighbor to have access to the video and the videos and the pictures. So then I said, okay, well, God will somehow figure this out. So then, like I said, I received the computer, and it wasn't up until about last week when I said I could easily give the computer to this one neighbor, you know, because first of all, God's going to be relocating me to another place. And once I leave, I want for there to be a way for this one neighbor to access these photos and video. So now, thank God, because he always knows, he always, you know, steps in at the right time to bless people with whatever they're needing. So anyway, when was it? 2 days ago, I went to that neighbor's place, and I knocked on their door, and I was knocking on the door, and I could hear them in there, and they wouldn't come out because whenever they know it's me, they don't come out. They see through the peephole who it is, and they don't come out. So I was a little bit, you know, a little bit discouraged. So I'm like, I went back home, and I'm like, oh, Father God, I just can't believe it. I'm trying to give this computer to my neighbor, but they won't open the door, and then they never open the door. Like, anytime I wanted to go over there to give them something that they need, because they're mad at me, they won't open the door. So I'm like, okay, Lord, this neighbor's being very difficult, and they're ignoring me because they're mad at me. But they don't understand that there's a blessing chasing them down. That's what the testimony's about. It's a blessing that's chasing somebody down. And how they make it difficult because of their attitude. But you see how God continues to press and press and press in until, you know, they get that blessing, even though they're being kind of mean. He's like that with all of us. So anyway, so like I said, 2 days ago I went to their door, they wouldn't open, and so then today I heard the neighbor walking down the hall with their dog, because their dog has, you know, the chains on their neck, and you can hear it. So I knew it was that neighbor. So then I quickly went to the door, opened it up, and I called out to my neighbor, and I told them, I said, hey, so-and-so, I have something for you. I have a computer for you. And they said, you do? And I said, yeah, I do. I said, I've been trying to get a hold of you, but you won't open the door. And then they were like a little bit embarrassed, right? I was annoyed, guys, when I said that to them. I was annoyed. So then they said, oh, and I said, yes, I have a computer for you. So then they approached me, and then they said, is it brand new? And I said, no, it's not brand new. But I said, all it needs is, because the computer does not have a keyboard or a mouse. It just has the screen, it's got the wires, and it has the webcam. So I explained this to the neighbor, and then they said, okay, I told my neighbor, when you come back, just come and get the computer. So then they left, and they came back after around almost 3 hours later. They came, and then I brought them inside, and then I showed them the computer. So then they picked up the computer, I picked up the webcam, and then we brought it over to her place, or his place, and I walked inside. They let me, their door was open, so they said, can you please open the door? So I opened the door, we walked in, and you know, they were so grateful and everything, and then suddenly their countenance changed, and they became very sweet and very nice, and like a lot of gratitude was coming out of them. They were very relieved. They have Wi-Fi, but they didn't have a computer. They, you know, just on their phone. So anyway, that's the testimony, guys. this neighbor was being really mean and unreasonable when God was trying to bless them, right? God was trying to bless them. Like I mentioned earlier, each time I had gone to their apartment to try to give them something, to bless them with something, they wouldn't open the door, and they didn't know why I was there. And I'm not going to scream out loud and say, hey, I've got this, you don't want the whole neighborhood knowing your business, and you want to be discreet about things. So anyway, so that's why I said I'm going to make sure that I catch them out in the hallway, and that's exactly what happened. So, this is what the message is about. It's about, when God is chasing us, He's chasing, your blessing is chasing, our blessings are chasing us, but because of our attitudes, we're making it hard for us, for our blessings to find us. Well, our blessings know where we are, but because of our attitudes, we're making it difficult for those blessings to come and finally be given to us. So we have to be very careful, guys, whenever we're dealing with people that we might be upset with, because you never know, they might be wanting to get a hold of us to bless us in some way, right? So yeah, it's a good lesson for all of us. So anyway, so my neighbor said, I'm so grateful to you, I'm so grateful, thank you so much. And so then I said, yeah, just make sure that you go get your keyboard and your mouse, because it doesn't have a keyboard or a mouse. And they had a friend there with them, and they're like, what about the tower? And I said, it doesn't need a tower. It's all in, it's like one of those computers where everything's built into the screen. You know what I'm saying, like that. Yeah. Like do they still make computers with towers? I don't know, but it's just like one of those, right? But anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. So I have to go, guys, because I'm boiling. This is making me boiling, and I've got to go eat dinner. And that's it, guys. So thanks for coming, and don't forget to click on subscribe so that you click on subscribe, then click on the bell button so that you will be notified for each time that I upload a video. Okay? Muchas gracias por venir. Los quiero a todo mundo. I said thank you so much for coming. I love everybody. Dios los bendiga. Y a sus familias, sus mascotas y sus casas. God bless your families, your pets, and your homes. Y sus trabajos, y sus negocios, and your jobs, and your businesses. And what else? Sus apartamentos, your apartments, y sus zapatos, your shoes. Because wherever you go, you have to make sure that you're walking on the right way. Okay, guys? Okay. I love you. Ciao, ciao. Here I go. I'm going to go now. My brain is sweating. My brain is sweating. Okay, guys, I love you. Bye.